All right, chat. We're finally back. Sorry for like the inconsistent uploading. Yeah. So we're reacting to the RAM crisis is worse than you think. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If you have been living under a rock, you probably don't know about the RAM issues. But RAM has been up by a bunch of other, PC parts as well. So we're gonna listen to what Logically Answered has to say about this, and let's get into it.
The RAM crisis is out of control. Prices are up as high as 314%. RAM used to be the cheap part of a computer. Device sales are falling.
Like,
and component prices.
Like, you used to be able to get DDR4 RAM for so cheap. Like, people would be like, oh, I have an extra little bit. Let me just get more RAM. Like, I need more RAM anyways. It's cheap. Like, it's cheaper than storage, cheaper than all this stuff where it's like, yeah, I mean, I have a little bit extra, like 16. I'll get another 8 gigabyte stick. I'll get 24 gigabytes of RAM. Like, that's how people were moving until the RAM crisis.
Keep going up. And I think you know why. It's all thanks to AI. But what if I told you this might be about to get worse? And it's
worse.
Not just RAM.
Yeah. Storage. Chapter 1, the bottleneck. See what he did there. Okay.
At first, the big issue in the AI hardware shortage was GPUs.
Yeah.
GPUs.
GPUs was like way earlier. Like people were talking about like Nvidia is so like valued so high because not only were their GPUs like arguably better than AMD's for the longest time, they were the first company really on that AI wave, which is why Nvidia is the most valued company of all time. And I wish I had, a couple extra, thousands of dollars when I invested in Nvidia a couple years ago, because I would have like 10 or 15, shares instead of like the amount I have. And that would have been a lot more money. So it sucks. But yeah, Nvidia, man.
Valuable company on Earth.
Yep.
So why is RAM suddenly so important? And why are all the AI companies fighting over it? RAM
It's a very
means
important
random
asset, bro.
access memory. Reading from storage like an SSD takes time. So programs load data into RAM first, because RAM is much faster to access.
Which, another thing, and I don't know how many people that are watching this are going to know that. Also, follow this Twitch, StoryofMike. We are live literally every single day. Follow the Twitch. Literally take like 2 seconds. Click the link in the description. Follow the Twitch. That's all you have to do. But I don't know how many people are going to know how RAM works. So if your storage is completely full, your computer will run slower because they're both memory. Both RAM and storage kind of similar. So if you have like full capacity, which is why my computer will run slow if it has no storage, and I'll like clear up the storage, but RAM is your main memory because of what he's saying here.
That lets your CPU or GPU work on data quickly without everything having to slow down.
Yep.
In this case, we're talking about DRAM or dynamic random access memory.
Yep.
When people say AI companies are fighting over RAM, they don't really mean the stuff in your laptop. They mean something called HBM or high bandwidth memory. It lives right next to the AI chip, and it can move data at speeds that regular DRAM can't touch. Same idea, but completely different.
Just different.
According to Lam Research, HBM demand is projected to grow from 123 million gigabytes in 2022 to 972 million gigabytes by 2027.
Makes sense.
Eightfold growth.
Yeah.
Primarily driven by
AI. Yeah, AI growth is insane. That number might be low.
Like DDR5 DRAM jumped 314%. If this type of RAM is not hugely used for AI, why is the price going up? For decades, DRAM was basically a commodity. You bought it in bulk, you put it in devices, nobody made great margins on it.
Like Drop, I don't know if you're watching this video or watching the stream, but Drop he would be able to build PCs over and over again because he just has so much RAM. Like RAM was so cheap that it just carried over. Like it carried over his cost.
Money was always in the bigger components. But AI changed that, and not in a slow, gradual way either.
It was
In
instant.
a very specific way. AI is not only growing, it is growing in the most memory-hungry ways. More models, larger models, and more inference, aka running models for real users. The result is that AI chips got so fast that they started outrunning the memory feeding them. The memory can't keep up, and suddenly memory
You need more
isn't
memory.
the cheap part anymore. It's actually the bottleneck. What's strange is that
It's just
for
so
the most
funny,
part,
like,
RAM wasn't
memory
the
is
expensive
never the
even
bottleneck.
if it was used in large volume, but not anymore. You can buy more GPUs, sure, but if the memory feeding them can't keep up, you're basically paying for chips that spend half their time waiting on memory.
Wait, yep.
Kernel performance is not only dependent on the operational speed of the GPU. Since a kernel requires data to work on, performance is also dependent on the rate at which the GPU can feed data to the kernel. As GPU scaled, demand for RAM kept building quietly. Then the first big crack appeared.
Oh man, yeah.
Micron. On
When they
December
announced
3rd,
that they weren't
2025, Micron dropped a press release that shocked the industry. The AI-driven growth in the data center has led to a surge in demand for memory and storage. Micron has made the difficult decision to
That they
exit
will leave the
crucial
market.
consumer business.
Yeah.
in
Which the issue with this is that me and all my friends, like all of us are content creators, PC people. I wish we understood what this meant and we bought stuff in bulk because yeah, we're probably not touching those prices ever again. Man, that sucks because I had a bunch of PC issues right after this and I helped build a PC. I helped my friend, I helped her build a PC, and I helped a couple other friends build a PC, and it was just like, it's just so difficult to try and do this knowing that a couple months ago, like it would have been so much cheaper, it would have been so much easier to find parts, all because this stepping stone.
order to improve supply and support for our larger strategic customers in faster growing segments. This was unbelievable. Micron is one of the big three memory makers, and they'd been at it for 29 years. They had a huge consumer brand called Crucial. For context, Micron had
So it was
over
like
25%
them saying they're
market share of
exiting that
DRAM.
shocked
major
the entire
player just
industry. It made prices go
left.
up.
AI demand was so great, so massive, that they left the consumer market completely behind. This sent shockwaves through the entire world.
Exactly.
But you can see why they did it. In Q1 2026, Micron said, "We have completed agreements on price and volume for our entire calendar 2026 HBM supply."
Okay.
That's absurd. Similarly, Samsung made 13 billion in operating profits in its
Man, if
fourth quarter,
Samsung
up
exits,
200% from last year.
Samsung won't
And of
exit
course,
though.
Samsung
They're too
is the
diverse.
second largest maker of DRAM.
Yeah.
But why can't they just make more RAM? And what else does this
Expensive,
mean for
man.
everyday computers,
It's
phones,
expensive.
or even TVs?
Everything
Is
uses
everything
RAM.
about to get worse?
Yes. Quite literally. Chapter 2, rationing. Okay. Let's see what he has to say
Quick
here.
note. Some of you know I founded Silo, an investing platform that
Shout out Silo, but let's see.
below. The obvious answer is that AI companies and regular consumers should just download more RAM.
Bro.
But on a serious note, what is causing this bottleneck that would make
Exactly,
Micron give up
yeah,
the
what is
entire
causing
consumer
it?
market? After all, they're already making RAM anyway. Well, firstly, building new memory capacity takes years, not months. Micron is already spending $200 billion on increasing customer
Billion.
capacity. Of
Billion.
course, it's not capacity for you and me, it's for AI companies.
Yep.
Their own roadmap spells it out. First wafer output from an Idaho fab in mid-2027, a second Idaho fab by the end of 2028, a New York fab coming online in 2030 and beyond. Long timelines.
Everybody's
Also,
investing in AI.
HBM
It makes
doesn't
too much
just
sense.
compete with normal RAM for sales. It competes for the same factory floor. Micron described what they call a 3-to-1.
There's a reason
ratio
they
with
exited,
DDR5,
you know?
meaning producing 1 unit of HBM uses up the resources that could have made 3 units of conventional memory.
So it
That
just doesn't make
means
sense.
It could be years before this is resolved. In the
Which is why
meantime,
prices will
devices
never go
are
back
being
down.
hurt. TrendForce confirmed memory makers are reallocating advanced process nodes and new capacity towards server and HBM demand, which has significantly limited supply in other markets. And the
Yep.
prices reflect exactly that. TrendForce forecasts conventional DRAM contract prices up 90 to 95% quarter over quarter in Q1 2026.
Quarter over
NAND
quarter?
flash is up 55 to 60% in the same window. PC DRAM specifically is forecast to at least double. TrendForce explicitly
That's
used
30%
the phrase
more than they
over
expected.
100% quarter over quarter. According to Micron, calendar 2026 industry DRAM and NAND bit shipment growth to be constrained by industry supply. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Less floor space for regular RAM means companies are rationing it or fighting over it. Less to go around, but still huge demand causes prices to go up. And
Yep. Supply and demand. Simple supply
conventional
demand.
DRAM prices are projected to increase 90 to 95% quarter over quarter,
Okay.
making the largest quarterly increase on record.
Ever.
PC DRAM prices are expected to rise over 100% quarter over quarter. Server DRAM prices are climbing approximately 90% quarter
90.
over quarter, as major cloud providers compete for limited supply.
Cloud too. Yeah.
Demand is high, and this is causing sales of products to drop. Global notebook shipments are expected to fall 9.4% annually in 2026.
But the issue with
price
sales
hike in
dropping
memory.
is that the prices are so high that they don't need the same amount of sales.
Lenovo already sent a warning to channel
Yeah,
partners
Lenovo
about
said
March
it.
2026 price hikes tied directly to DRAM and NAND shortages.
Yeah.
Lenovo told the partners that orders placed before February 28th but not shipped by March 31st would be repriced mid-order.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
That's
Phones are
not
just as
good at
bad.
all.
A mainstream 8GB RAM plus 256GB of storage, a completely normal mid-range spec, saw contract prices surge nearly 200% year over year in Q1 2026, roughly tripling. And phone sales are forecast to go down 10% year over year because of it.
Yeah.
Even TVs
Which
are
makes
getting
sense.
hit, which honestly surprised me. A TV doesn't
Yeah,
need
TVs
much
need
memory to
RAM.
exist, but it needs enough to run apps smoothly. Memory share of a TV's total bill of materials jumped from 2.5 to 3% to 6
It's
to 7%.
like TV stuff
The 4GB
going up is
DDR4 chip
insane
that goes
too,
into
but
most
it makes
4K
everything
TVs
go
has
up.
more than quadrupled in cost over the past year. Trendforce says, due to the current cost structures no longer supporting the previous low price strategies, retail price increases for new TV models are now considered unavoidable. But perhaps the
sucks.
worst of all is gaming.
Gaming.
The place consumers want high specs and lots
Oh
of
man,
RAM.
how do we tell
But
y'all?
it's not just PC
How do we
gaming.
tell 'em?
The crisis is threatening console schedules. It's likely Sony will delay the PS6. and
No.
the highly
I'm not gonna lie. And I didn't even think that they would delay the consoles, but I swear to you, if they delay the consoles, bro, we're cooked. I'm not gonna lie, we're cooked. PS5 had pretty much nothing. Xbox Series X S had a decent UI. It was pretty much the same as the last one, and they didn't really have any exclusives. If we stay on this console cycle, they're not doing anything, bro. We're cooked. We need the new consoles for them to give us something better. If they get delayed, they get delayed. I don't see them doing that because they make so much money off those consoles. Even though the parts they make a loss, but they get a lot. They get about 500 per customer, and then they have cloud and all that stuff. So they make a good change of money. But man, bro, if they delay it, I could see it happening, but I don't see it happening solely because I see PS6 being more VR, more computer friendly. I see Xbox, integrating with Microsoft. I just see them being smarter about it. I don't see them delaying it because I feel like they have a plan in place. Hopefully. I mean, I'm saying that as a gamer who wants to purchase a console next year and not have to wait,
anticipated Steam Machine from Valve has also been delayed. The market shifted.
Yeah.
RAM has gone
Which
from a small
the Steam
cost-
Machine being delayed has me concerned that everything else will. I'm still telling people don't buy a new console now though, because it's probably going to come out next year regardless,
to essentially the gatekeeper. AI buyers lock in supply first, memory makers protect the margins, and everyone else gets handed price hikes, spec cuts, and delayed launches.
Yep.
But what if I told you this was just the beginning?
Okay. Downstream Crisis, Chapter 3.
RAM might be harder to get, but our channel videos come every week. So subscribe as we work towards 1 million. Thank you so much. In February 2026, the CEO of Phison, a major NAND storage company, gave an interview.
Okay.
NAND essentially means non-volatile rewritable storage like SSDs. But what they said was pretty bleak. Consumer electronics will see a large number of failures. From the end of this year to 2026,
Interesting.
Many system vendors will go bankrupt or exit product lines due to a lack of memory. Mobile phone production will be reduced by 200 to 250
That's
million
believable.
units, and PC and TV production will be significantly reduced.
Significant?
And
I mean, yeah,
it gets worse.
PC.
Memory manufacturers
TV?
are now demanding 3 years worth of prepayment from buyers. 3 years.
3?
That's never happened before. Manufacturers are completely locked out for years in advance, extracting commitments at a scale.
Well, yeah, that
nobody's
makes
seen.
sense.
Some of those same manufacturers internally estimate the shortage will last until 2030, or even
Yeah.
another 10 years beyond that. Same crisis, two parts of the supply chain hitting at
I'm
once.
getting a headache listening
Lenovo
to
has
this.
warned channel partners about price hikes on consumer and server products, specifically tied to rising DRAM and NAND costs.
Yeah.
Xiaomi also publicly said surging memory chip prices
Wow,
were pushing up smartphone
Xiaomi-
costs.
However you
The
say
wider
it.
electronics market is in trouble, but it's especially bad for the little guys. For smaller device makers who might not be able to handle tighter margins, this will be disastrous.
Well, this will kill them.
Cheaper
Yeah.
product lines for laptops and phones might
Like there's other
disappear.
companies like Apple and Samsung have made, and even Sony and stuff, they've made so much money like off of the high margin stuff that they sell that they're good. Which is why I don't think Sony and Microsoft will not sell, because Sony's not going to delay theirs and then Microsoft comes out with theirs. Like Microsoft is going to be the reason Sony drops something. Simple.
Altogether, general specs of products may get worse, and the regular expected specs become more and more luxury. But there is some upside to this, even if small. People are beginning to hold on to devices for longer.
Yep.
Research already shows the replacement cycle has moved from 4 years to over 5 years. I wonder how much
It's just expensive. Like I still have the phone I got this like freshman year of college, the 14, you know, like
that will extend. And
I've
there's
always
more.
kept my phones every
People are
5
moving
years.
from buying new
so.
to secondhand. Backmarket, a secondhand marketplace, reported growth
Back
of
Market.
32%.
I like that
People are
site,
buying
man.
used, repairing more, and waiting longer before upgrading.
It's just
Games
yeah.
are also adapting. Battlefield 6 found a significant number of players were running below the minimum recommended specs, and EA acknowledged the need to support weaker hardware. Some of the most popular games right now, Repo,
Friend
Lethal
Swap.
Company, and Peak,
Oh,
run on
friend swap, and he missed on all three. You can tell this script took forever, bro. You can tell this script took forever, bro, because he missed on all three. How do we tell him, bro?
almost anything, because people are hanging on to devices for longer. Low-spec gaming is having a real moment, and I don't think that's a coincidence.
It's also just
I
that
wonder if
games
this
are
means
cheaper.
We'll get some more regular,
You know?
not smart TVs again, which don't need RAM and aren't bloated with ads. Maybe. I think the real takeaway here is to become a smarter consumer. Buy secondhand where it makes sense.
Yeah.
Repair and hold, and
Yeah.
don't upgrade until
Unless you need
it's
to.
genuinely worth it or you have to. This entire AI situation is very strange. But what if this entire bubble is beginning to wobble? Things
Okay.
aren't looking as good as the AI giants hoped. Check out this video to learn more. But until then,
Interesting.
I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, Hari. Thanks for the video, man. Honestly, he covered a lot of good points. Like, I mean, RAM is going to be more expensive. Every PC part is going to be more expensive for the considerable time being. I think this is where Sony and Microsoft take advantage and they drop a console next year. I don't agree with them not dropping one. I don't think they're delaying. It doesn't make sense. But W video, make sure to follow the Twitch StoryofMike with 2 eyes and sub to the channel. I mean, why not, you know? And I will see you guys later. Peace.